afternoon, Jack. How are you?
Not too bad. How are you, Peter?
Jack, I'm very well. Thank you for asking. Welcome to the NI Business Podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me this afternoon. Could you tell me a little about yourself, your background, and your business, please?
Sure, yeah. So I'm Jack Morrow. I'm the co-founder and CEO of RETìníZE. And we've been working together, making various forms of virtual reality content for a very long time. But for the past 6 years, we've been deeply focused on building our product Animotive, which is essentially a virtual stage for people to perform as animated characters, to film that experience, to bring that content into games, into, children's television, and also into the space of education where people can use it to teach the skills behind filmmaking, animation, virtual production, and game making.
And is this what you always wanted to do? Did you see yourself in this line of work?
This is pretty close to what I've always wanted to do. So, from about the age of 14, I started media education in school, where I was learning about filming, video editing, uh, and yeah, studied at the University of York doing a film and TV degree as well. Did my movie images A level, worked in film and TV after that. But I always had this parallel, deeply techie side to my personality of building and breaking computers and working with various bits of 3D modeling tools and those kind of things. So um, this has really brought together all of my passions into a kind of building a virtual form of my life experience and skills.
And help me understand a little more about your target market. So, who do you enjoy working with, and who benefits the most from working with you?
So we love working with all the target markets that yeah, use our product. So like I guess the most flashy stuff is yeah, there's people using our product in the world of feature film. So we are working with the creators of Silicon Valley, Beavis and Butthead, and King of the Hill. And yeah, they're using our tools to make a pilot for an animated feature film right now, which is really exciting. Um, we are working with science and discovery centers. So locally, that would be W5, who have used our platform for doing live characters that audiences can come and interact with and talk to, live virtual characters. And then in the education space, yeah, we love working with, bringing our product to classes of students so that they can really learn the depths of virtual production and, you know, from kind of some of the fundamental learnings of how uh, film production or creating cinematics in games or learning the skills of a multi-camera TV studio, um, you know, trying to take all of that learning and bring it into one package that's easy to use.
I thought you were going to say for a moment there in the education space it's Beavis and Butthead, but thankfully not.
Uh, Although, funnily enough, when I moved over here from England at the age of 5, I had a meeting with my primary school headmaster, who asked what my favorite TV show was, and I had snuck up the night or the morning, like early in the morning, looked what was in the VHS player, and watched back-to-back episodes of Beavis and Butthead. So that's obviously what I said to my headmaster, and still he let me into the school. So.
Very good. I'd love to have been a fly on the wall there. So, look, what about if you reflect on your time as a business owner? What would you say has been your biggest lesson?
My biggest lesson, I mean, it's a lot of the usual stuff of like the value of like doing your primary market research and really knowing your customer and their problem is always central. Um, yeah, like I think it depends because when you're 18, you should still be experimenting, trying, failing, building up some specialisms. But I've always been a passionate generalist, so um, you know. The other thing I think that just helps is having a goal and working towards that goal. Like no matter what age you are,
Hmm.
um, telling people that this is the thing you want to achieve generally helps make it happen.
Yeah, it's such a powerful share for anyone listening. And what about yourself? What have you learned about yourself along the way?
What have I learned about myself? Yeah, I mean, I guess the versatility, like the key thing that I have to know is uh, what, like, how to take risks, what is a sensible risk, what is not a sensible risk, and uh, also in being honest with yourself when you don't have the skills and when you need to skill yourself up, when you uh, know a contact who would be better at performing the job than you would. This is an a lot of that has come from film and TV, where it's you cannot be a specialist in all these areas. You hire other professionals to take your way through the process. And yeah, kind of applying that to the startup world has definitely been helpful.
And who's been your biggest influence along the way?
My biggest influence along the way, I've had quite a lot of different mentors over the years, but I guess I keep coming back to disappointingly my family, who have been very focused in the tech and media world. So um, I set up this company with my father. So he had been running a TV production company for 30 years before that. Um, then my brother works out in San Francisco, who's, been working for the likes of Adobe. Um, his wife is on the user experience team at Meta for the Oculus VR headsets. My other brother works for GitHub and Microsoft. And so, yeah, we have very interesting discussions at Christmas about where this is all going and how this all fits together.
Wow, that's an eclectic technological mix of people, if ever, and one family. Wow. What about like what would you say that drives your passion for the business and gets you out of bed in the morning?
Um, what gets me out of bed is, yeah, like it's a endlessly exciting, fast-moving space, and I absolutely love the creative industries. I love the uh, taking new technologies, finding out how to bend and break them, and you know, try to make predictions about the effect that will have out there in the world, and therefore how we need to position ourselves. And so, um, yeah, uh, the creative and technical uh, business challenge of what we're trying to achieve is, yeah, very fulfilling.
And what would you, let's go slightly left field. So I don't know if you're a reader or you listen to any podcasts, but if you were stuck on a desert island and could have a listen to something or have a read of something or both, what would you go for?
I wish I'd give like a sensible startup answer, like listening to Acquired or something like that. But I often fall asleep listening to The Rest is Politics, which I don't know how I can fall asleep listening to the world of politics at the moment, but I can. And I also love Freakonomics Radio, which is, I guess, uh, all about economics in its broadest form, which, yeah, always gives you like an interesting look into something outside of your current world.
But what would you say is the biggest challenge that you're currently facing in your business?
biggest challenge we're facing is, I think this is true across the broad. Like right now, the rate of change due to AI
Mm.
is both the challenge and the opportunity. And the creative industries particularly have um, a very challenging, uh, yeah, it's a very challenging thing to come to terms with when things that used to take people months, years, and you're starting to see things like that being produced in minutes, but often from data sets that have been scraping people's copyright material. And so that is uh, a real challenge for everybody in this space at every position. The the way the policy is going to go in that space has not been clear. The way different platforms might choose to set their policies independently of the law has not been clear. Um, so trying to decide what are sensible paths forward in that world is hard.
And what about let's I mean your line of business? I mean AI must be like a frighteningly speed things up and create challenges equally along the way. It affects a lot, obviously a lot of every aspect of business, I guess, in the future. So very interesting share. What about if you're having a dinner party, Jack, and you could invite any three people, who would you be inviting?
If I could invite any three people to a dinner party, I would probably pick, uh, yeah, I just like you want people who challenge each other. So you want like uh maybe Sam Altman, someone like Tim Minchin there to bring in the and I'm a huge Peter Jackson fan as well. I think he is an absolute genius, and so would want him at the table.
Very good. And what about if you could go back in time and give some advice to your 18-year-old self, Jack? What would that sound like?
Giving advice to my 18-year-old self, I don't want this to come across as like cocky, but like uh I feel like the kind of turbulent path I've been on has all been very enjoyable and very fun. I'm not looking back at my career going, oh God, I wish I'd focused on that. There were areas where, uh, you know, I think it's just the world has changed quite a lot from when I was starting out in TV and stuff, and certainly I came in at the end of the kind of, burning the midnight oil at all hours expectation of people starting out in the career. So, you know, uh, there wasn't much rest in the beginning, but at that age I could handle that. So, I think it's uh, telling myself back then that it won't always have to be uh, staying up till 2 a.m. and getting up at 6, but
And what about thinking forward, Jack? Let's fast forward, say 5 years. What does your business look like then?
so 5 years, we're really trying to become the de facto platform for people who want to create, yeah, 3D animated content, which we see as a growing space. Um, and trying to, like the product at its core is really trying to make the process of 3D character animation feel like a live action process and what it feels like to be on a set. Uh, and so, yeah, it's scaling that throughout the UK and Ireland. It's scaling it in places like California and New York, and uh, growing further beyond there. So that's the goal.
And if someone would like to reach out and get in touch with you or the business, what's the best way for them to go about that?
Best way is to go to animotive.com. Our email address is on there. You can reach out at hello@animotive.com, and that'll all come through.
Superb. Well, Jack Morrow from Animotive, RETìníZE, thanks very much for taking the time to chat with me today. A fascinating insight into your business and background. And yeah, look, it's anything to do with technology is exciting times ahead. So I wish you every success for the future. And thanks very much for your time, Jack. Cheers.
Thanks, Peter.